The compost layer method that transforms dead soil into a nutrient-rich powerhouse. There's a moment every gardener experiences, the excitement of planting into what looks like healthy soil, only to watch those plants struggle weeks later. The truth is that beneath the surface, soil behaves like a living pantry, storing or losing nutrients depending on what we feed it. The compost layer method transforms that pantry into a thriving, nutrient-rich ecosystem, and once you understand why organic matter is the key to nutrient retention, you'll never look at your soil the same way again. This method doesn't rely on expensive fertilizers or complicated systems. It's a simple layering approach that dramatically improves soil structure, boosts microbial life, and keeps nutrients right where your plants can actually use them. The real magic of this method begins with understanding what soil lacks when it becomes compacted, depleted, or low in organic material. Without organic matter, soil acts like a leaky bag. Nutrients just wash away with rain or irrigation, roots really struggle to penetrate, and beneficial microbes, well, they have nothing to eat. By committing to building your garden from the top down using compost-aged manure, worm castings, biochar, and a living mulch layer, you actually create a soil system that naturally regenerates and continuously stores nutrients, instead of losing them. The compost layer method starts with a foundation of finished compost. A 2-inch surface layer delivers minerals, organic carbon, and, well, a buffet for soil microbes. These microbes are the engines of fertility, breaking organic matter into plant-available nutrients and forming soil aggregates that improve both drainage and moisture retention. When compost sits on top rather than being dug in, worms pull it downward in microtunnels, creating channels that improve aeration and structure without disrupting soil biology. This gentle biological mixing is far more efficient than mechanical tilling, which destroys fungal networks and leaves soil vulnerable to nutrient loss. Next comes the nutrient-dense layer built from worm castings. Adding 1 cup of worm castings per square foot introduces a powerhouse of beneficial microbes, slow-release nutrients, and natural plant growth stimulants. Castings are extremely stable, meaning nutrients don't wash away easily. Instead, they bind to organic matter and clay particles, forming cation exchange sites that hold on to potassium, calcium, magnesium, and trace minerals that roots pull from as needed. This is really the heart of nutrient retention, creating these tiny holding stations throughout the soil profile that keep nourishment in place, rather than letting it just disappear. The third component is well-rotted manure. 1 cup per square foot enriches the compost layer with nitrogen, phosphorus, and organic fibers that, improve soil texture. Unlike fresh manure, which burns plants and invites pests, aged manure offers slow, steady feeding. Its long carbon chains break down gradually, fostering deep microbial activity that increases soil's ability to store moisture and trap nutrients. The combination of compost, castings, and aged manure mimics forest floor ecology, where layers of decomposing organic matter form a nutrient bank that rarely leaches or degrades. To activate this layered system, a microbial booster brings everything to life. A classic gardener's mix dissolves 2 teaspoons of molasses into 1 gallon of non-chlorinated water. So, molasses acts as a microbial food source, rapidly increasing beneficial populations that colonize your compost layers. For gardeners using biochar, this mixture also serves as the perfect inoculant. Add 1 cup of biochar per square foot, but only after soaking it in the molasses solution for at least 24 hours. Biochar's porous structure traps nutrients and microbes inside microscopic chambers, preventing loss through rain or irrigation. Once charged, biochar becomes a long-term nutrient vault that enhances soil health for years. When all layers are in place, the soil begins to behave differently almost immediately. Water absorption improves, reducing runoff and erosion. Roots push deeper with less resistance, reaching pockets of moisture during hot weather. The surface remains cool and biologically active, encouraging earthworms to multiply. But the most impressive transformation happens at the chemical level. Organic matter increases the soil's cation exchange capacity, the number of sites available to hold nutrients. This means fertilizers, minerals, and natural amendments aren't wasted. They're stored and released slowly, exactly when plants need them most. Another reason the compost layer method performs so well is its ability to support a balanced fungal to bacterial ratio. Most garden soils lean heavily bacterial due to tilling, compaction, or overuse of synthetic fertilizers. Compost layers, especially those enriched with aged manure and castings, encourage beneficial fungi to rebuild. These fungi bind soil particles into crumbly aggregates, improving aeration and water retention. They also transport nutrients through underground networks that connect plant roots. When soil has strong fungal pathways, nutrient retention becomes effortless and plants show increased resilience, vigor, and growth consistency. With time, the top layers settle and integrate naturally into the soil profile. As worms consume organic material, they produce castings throughout the garden bed, constantly renewing the fertility cycle. What's unique about this method is that it never requires turning the soil or disturbing the layers. Instead, every season you simply add another thin layer of compost and, if desired, a refreshed scoop of worm castings. This top-down feeding, mimics the most fertile ecosystems in nature and ensures nutrient retention continues improving year after year. Some gardeners report incredible results after only one season. Soil that was once sandy begins to hold water longer, clay soil becomes lighter and more workable. Beds that frequently required fertilizer begin producing stronger, deeper-colored foliage with no additional inputs. That is the predictable outcome when organic matter becomes the foundation of your soil system. It doesn't just provide nutrients, it builds a structure that holds on to them. The compost layer method is not a quick fix, it's a long-term investment in soil biology. But once you begin, you'll notice how much easier gardening becomes. Plants root faster, stress less, and respond more vigorously to seasonal changes. You'll water less, fertilize less, and replenish nutrients far less often. The soil, now rich in organic matter, does the heavy lifting for you. If you're ready to build nutrient-dense living soil that supports abundant harvests, start with this method and stay consistent. Every layer you add extends the life and health of your garden beds. And if you found this guide helpful, be sure to subscribe, share, and help other gardeners discover these powerful natural soil building techniques.